You're a great Airbnb host. You've figured out operations, pricing, guest experience, maybe even built up a few 5-star reviews. Now it's time for the next big question. Where should you invest next, and when? If you're looking for a smarter, more strategic way to choose your next short-term rental market, you're in the right place. Because today, we're pulling back the curtain on a powerful but often overlooked insight that separates good investments from great ones. Let's talk about feeder cities. Every year, AirDNA releases a list of the best places to invest, packed with top-performing markets right now. But if you're planning your next move a year or two out, that list might feel like a moving target. You need a longer runway, something that helps you plan, not just react. That brings us to one of the most predictive and underutilized investment tools in the game, feeder cities. Feeder cities are the metro areas your guests are traveling from. These origin points matter because population and income trends in those cities directly impact demand in the vacation markets they visit. Example, Houston. As it grows, so do the STR markets its residents frequent: Fredericksburg, Corpus Christi, Galveston, and even destinations in neighboring states like Broken Bow, Oklahoma. This isn't just a theory, it's backed by data. For every 1% population growth in feeder cities, we've seen a 2.5 to 3% increase in STR demand in nearby markets. So if you're planning to buy in the next few years, knowing which cities are booming now tells you exactly where the demand is heading next. Here's what the numbers say. Texas metro areas are leading the charge. Houston and Dallas added over 250,000 residents each between 2020 and 2024, and they're not done. The growth is already fueling STR demand in places like Fredericksburg, Corpus Christi, Galveston, South Padre Island, Broken Bow, Oklahoma. Washington State is also heating up. Nearly 245,000 people moved to Washington between 2020 and 2024, creating short-term rental demand in locations like Grays Harbor, Leavenworth, and the North Cascade Mountains. In short, when a feeder city surges, the STR markets it fuels usually do too. So, if you're evaluating where to buy next, look beyond local STR metrics. Zoom out and check the health of your top feeder cities. Are they gaining population, employment, income? For example, if your target market serves Houston travelers, keep a close eye on Houston's projections. If they're strong, the market's demand likely is too. Remember, this is about aligning your business with the flow of people, not just reacting to what the calendar says. Feeder city data also helps you avoid markets with demand at risk. Let's take Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Gorgeous spot, right? But it heavily relies on visitors from Chicagoland, where the population is projected to shrink by nearly 200,000 in the next 5 years. And Lake Geneva is not alone. STR markets dependent on New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, or Detroit may struggle with sustained demand. These metros have seen major outmigration, and that trend is still unfolding. That means vacation markets like Door County, Finger Lakes, Adirondacks, Wisconsin Dells, Mammoth Lakes, and Big Bear might deserve a second look before you commit to an investment in those areas. Now, more people is good, but only if they have the means to travel. That's why we also track feeder city income growth. For instance, Broken Bow ranks high for feeder city population growth, but lower for income growth. That may mean future guests will lean more budget conscious. Meanwhile, San Antonio or McAllen may not be booming in population, but rising incomes suggest those guests will spend more per trip. It's not just quantity, it's quality of demand. And smart investors are watching both. Here's the balance every savvy STR investor needs: future-proofing versus current returns. AirDNA's current yield metric, calculated as annual revenue potential divided by home prices, helps you gauge ROI right now. And while it's not the only factor to consider, it does serve as a major guidepost. High yield indicates a market where properties make substantial money relative to their purchase cost. To find ideal investment spots, you'll want to look at both current returns and future population growth. Let's look at Hot Springs, Arkansas and the Sawtooth Mountains in my home state of Idaho as an example. They have similar expected population growth, but in Hot Springs, homes average $255,000 with a 15% return on investment. In the Sawtooth, homes are $1.4 million with a 5% return. Remember, current yield doesn't include operating costs like cleaning fees and management services. Investors should use yield as a starting point and research property level details before investing. It's critical to weigh both what properties are making now and what they could make down the road. Okay, so by now you probably understand the value of knowing which feeder cities affect specific vacation rental markets. But how do you know which cities are feeder cities? AirDNA to the rescue. We've created an interactive dashboard that lets you explore every market in the US to see its top feeder cities. I've dropped a link in the description so you can check it out for yourself. Besides this specialized dashboard, AirDNA has tons of data on markets around the world, so you can make data-backed decisions for your next STR investment. Don't just guess. Use real demand signals to back your decision. You'll be glad you did in the long run. Feeder cities are more than a research tool. They're essentially a crystal ball for what comes next in short-term rental demand. Use them to plan ahead, optimize what you own, and build a portfolio that grows with the people driving it. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more data-backed investing insights. And let us know in the comments, which market are you eyeing for your next property? I'll see you in the next video.